Wonderful. It looks like most people are settled into the room. So once again, thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Dykstra, and I'm the Manager of Career Development at Huron. And I'm delighted to be joining you today to introduce you to some of the different supports that we offer to students at Huron, the strategies that we use to really encourage our students to see success in their career goals, and finally, to introduce you to some of our current students who have had the opportunity to engage in a paid internship opportunity during their time at Huron so far. So again, if you're just joining us now, welcome to today's session about career development, and we'll go ahead and get started. So to start, I wanted to introduce you to some of our services and opportunities that we offer through the career development team at Huron. We really see the Career Development Center as a one-stop shop for our students who are looking for support with planning their future. So we're going to help you gain experiences and skills that are really necessary for standing out in today's ever-evolving and competitive workforce. So whether you're hoping to be employed directly after you graduate or make the transition to graduate school, our team is here to support you in achieving your career goals. At Huron, we do guarantee paid internships to all of our students, as well as volunteer opportunities in the community before you graduate as part of our larger strategic plan, because we know how important it is from an employer perspective and from graduate schools for our students to have at least about 2 years of experience to land the entry-level roles or graduate school program admissions that they're looking for. When students come to Huron, so if you're a prospective student looking to come and spend some time with us for your undergrad degree, we are going to provide you with really personalized and tailored support to address your short and long-term career objectives. We're going to help you develop those career objectives and goals and co-construct a plan for you kind of from start to finish at your time at Huron. So starting in first year, we're going to encourage you to connect with your career development coordinator and start to brainstorm and explore what you're interested in and what you're passionate about. And so what that means is that you can come to Huron with a very specific career goal in mind, or you can come to Huron kind of not knowing what your next steps will be. And I would say that's a very common experience for many of our students. And what we'll do is help you create a plan that will not only allow you to explore your interests, but start to really refine and narrow down what your interests will be and where you want to see yourself as you graduate from Huron. And so we'll actually work with you individually to map out a career plan that includes your goals, but also includes ways for you to develop the necessary skills that employers are looking for today. But we're always going to meet you where you're at. So whether you've never worked before, you're unsure of your career goals, like I mentioned earlier, or you have a really clear career goal in mind, we're going to help you gain that experience, enhance your resume, and really move to the next step in your career. And over and above all of those things, we support you with all of the processes attached to gaining experience. So building an effective resume and cover letter, how to stand out to a hiring manager to secure those paid internship opportunities, and really prepare you for effective interactions with employers, whether it's those applications, interviewing, networking as well. We're going to ensure that you have all of the skills and the competencies to really make yourself stand out. In addition to those services, we of course have many different professional development opportunities for our students at Huron, including a partnership with the Harvard Business School in order to offer our students access to the Harvard Core program, which is a certificate program that students take outside of their academics at Huron. And through our partnership, we do have secured and reserved seats for our students, as well as financial aid or scholarship funding as well. In addition, some professional development programming that we also offer to our students is a mentorship program. And we'll talk a little bit more about this in today's session, but it's an opportunity for you as you transition to Huron in your first year to connect with an upper year student. And I know some of our students who are on the call today are participating in this program this year, to connect with an upper year student who has been in your shoes, who has made the transition to university as you'll be doing, who can share some different strategies for success and tips for you to make that transition really seamless seamlessly. As you move into your upper years at Huron, we'll offer you the opportunity to connect with an alumni mentor to learn about a specific industry, career, or profession that you're interested in, as well as different graduate programs that you might be considering for yourself. But the whole purpose of this program really is building up your knowledge base, your skills, learning about new opportunities, and really building your professional network, which we'll do a deep dive into through our session today. Internships at Huron, I know many of you are keen to hear about what that looks like, and it can look very different for every student. We've built our internship programming so that it's accessible. So many of our students will do a 4-month internship over the summer months, working full-time. Some students might work part-time during the school year, either on or off campus, but we do have both short and long-term academic internship opportunities, as well as internship opportunities that are not for credit. So we will work with you individually to find an opportunity that gets you excited, but also that aligns with your career goals in future. So we've had students do internships in accounting and auditing roles, as research assistants in human resources, public relations, social finance, marketing and communications, working with not-for-profits and NGOs. The list goes on and on. And so it's something that we get very excited about at Huron and would be pleased to support you with as a student considering Huron as their institution. At Huron as well as an opportunity to engage in professional development, we've also recently introduced the Scotiabank Career Accelerator program. This is an elite program that is meant to build the student's career confidence and really help you to stand out in today's job force and not only enter into the workforce successfully, but as you enter into the workforce, be able to take on any of the problems or tasks that are assigned to you really effectively. And so this is just an overview of our services that we offer at Huron. And so through the rest of today's session, of course, you'll have an opportunity to hear from some of our students. We have 3 on the call who are joining us today, but I'm also going to do a dive into some of the supports and strategies that we use to support our students at Huron. And so as kind of an introduction, we know that career development and some of the concepts that we interact with, specifically networking and the practice of job searching, can be really new to some students, and that's totally okay. But some of the common myths that we hope to dispel for students, you can see on the screen here, and we really hope to dispel these with you as you come to Huron and you're on your career development journey. So some of these myths on the screen are related to networking and job searching. And so throughout our session today, we'll dive into both of these topics and how they look practically for our students at Huron, including a bit of a sneak peek into how we support our students in these areas. And so some of the common myths that we often hear students coming to us with are that they should only be networking if they're looking for a job, that they should use networking to build professional relationships only, and that networking should be brief connections only. And so all of these are myths. We want students to be networking very proactively in order to build up their professional networks so that as they're looking for opportunities, as they're looking to gain clarity into different career opportunities, job opportunities, volunteer, getting involved in the community, that they have those connections to call on. And oftentimes, while we can look at networking very formally to build professional relationships, a lot of our students also use it to build personal relationships and can call on those personal relationships for a multitude of reasons. We also will encourage students to engage in networking for kind of the long term. So we'll chat a bit in a couple of minutes about having quality connections over quantity of connections when it comes to networking. And then in terms of job searching, the best way to land a job is to upload a resume to popular sites. That's a myth. Job postings and ads represent the majority of opportunities available, and every industry hires at the same time for student internships. We're going to go over all of these concepts briefly today as well. But we do encourage students to have a very tailored and personalized approach to engaging in job searching rather than a one-size-fits-all in order to allow themselves to stand out. We know that the importance of networking really comes into play when looking for internships and post-grad job opportunities, as many opportunities are not posted publicly. And so it's all about the combination of what you've learned through your academic experience at Huron, the experiences that you've had while you're here with us, and who you know that will really allow you to successfully transition into today's job market. So we're going to cover all of those topics today. But to start, again, knowing that these concepts might be brand new for a lot of the students on the call today, just wanted to give you an introduction into what networking is. And so in its really briefest form, it's the act of building up a database of relationships and contacts that suit both your personal and your professional interests that will allow you to support your development in both of these areas. So whether you're connecting with people in person at different events that might be offered, like conferences, workshops, recruitment events, or whether you're connecting with them virtually for an informational call or some of those similar events that might be hosted in that capacity. It's an opportunity to kind of exchange information, collect some insights, and really use those connections for the purpose of your personal advancement. So just to give you a really practical example of how networking can look in practice, if we had a student who was interested in working with Scotiabank, we would work with that student to identify some potential contacts at Scotiabank for an informational call, potentially someone on their recruitment team, set them up with that informational call. We would prepare our students in advance of those connections by making them think critically about what questions do you want to ask, how can you really effectively market yourself in that interaction, and then use that interaction to really showcase their candidacy, but also do some learning so that as they apply to more positions in the future, you have a really great understanding of what that employer is looking for. One thing that I really want everyone on the call to take away today is that networking is important for all of our students. So regardless of what discipline you're looking at Huron, the combination, again, of your knowledge, your skills and experiences, and the people you know are what will really assist you in being successful in your future endeavors. So just a brief comment there about networking. And at Huron, we will support you to learn how to engage in networking in a really effective way and garner the support and endorsements of your professional contacts. So it all starts with research, and we'll help you through that whole process, identifying who would be the best person to connect with, learn about the company or the organization that you're interested in, schedule a mutually beneficial time, prepare some questions to be asking of your professional contact, and really make sure that you're prepared for that connection. And then as you make that connection, just making sure that you're conducting yourself in a really professional way. But again, we support our students through this whole process at Huron to make sure that as you have those interactions that are so important for your professional advancement, that you're ready to put your best foot forward. What I want to kind of also bring home here is that I've put this slogan up on the screen here, that's warm leads are better than cold outreach. And what I mean by that is take a look at who you have in your current and existing network already, and how can you use those people to your benefit. So do you have a family member that works at a law firm that you hope to work at? Does your neighbor work at Scotiabank or RBC where you hope to be working? Use those connections to start building up your network really effectively. And at the beginning, I alluded to the quality of your connections being more important than the quantity. And so the concept of networking can be really exciting. The concept that you can connect with a recruiter at Scotiabank, you can connect with an alumni at RBC, you could have a coffee chat with a manager at KPMG or Deloitte. The concept of that is extremely exciting. What I want you to be mindful of is that aiming for 500 connections on LinkedIn, which is a platform many of our students use for networking purposes, is great. But if you've only met those people in passing and haven't had some like rich and diverse conversations with them, haven't allowed them to get to know you, they're not going to be as meaningful. When you build relationships, when someone can get to know you as a formal mentor or someone that you have coffee chats with on a regular basis, those are the people that you can call on for information, for guidance as you start applying for different opportunities, and potentially as a reference as well. So just a friendly reminder, those quality connections that will help you build at Huron through our mentorship program, through the coaching for informational sessions, those are the things that you really want to prioritize to have those meaningful interactions. And again, having those relationships really important in order to kind of further encourage your success as you enter into the job market. So we know that about 80% of jobs are filled without being advertised. So really explicit about how important it is for you to be building connections in the community. And so again, just considering that they're filled without being advertised, you really want to find ways to present your skills and your experiences to professional contacts, again, through formal programming, informational calls, but also even consider unique ways that you can have a presence online. So can you be sharing information on your LinkedIn profile? Can you showcase some of your achievements? Can you start following some of those employers to really allow them to see some of the impact that you can have. And so because we know that a lot of jobs are kind of found for our students and just in kind of the general job market through those connections, we do encourage students to interact with that remaining 20% in a couple of different ways. So we encourage students to engage in both active and passive job searching at Huron. Again, we coach you through this entire process, but active job searching really just includes using reputable job boards and reviewing company websites regularly to make sure that you're staying up to date on any opportunities that might come to fruition, attending recruitment events such as those that we offer exclusively for our students at Huron, or even events that are hosted by employers to start making connections for yourself. And also, again, scheduling those informational calls with recruiters or hiring managers to learn about upcoming opportunities that might be available to you. Contrastingly, we also encourage our students to have passive job searching strategies in their back pocket. So those that you can see on the screen here are some examples. So setting job alerts on popular job sites. So LinkedIn is a really popular one, has a great job alert tool. You can also do this on employer websites, and you can do it on other popular job search sites as well, like Indeed. Being on social media, like I just mentioned. So having an online presence that showcases your highlights, your successes, what makes you stand out, and just starting to follow some of those employers, and then again, using your personal connections and seeing where introductions can be made. And so on the screen here, you can see a little bit more about how we do this at Huron and how we'll support you with creating a personalized job search plan. So we're going to start by creating some goals with you, setting targets for how often you're interacting with employers and job postings. We also, of course, have Huron exclusive job opportunities available for our students, which I'll hand the mic over to our students in just a moment here to chat about their experience. We'll encourage you to be persistent. So be patient with your job searching, make follow-ups where it's appropriate based on employers' directions, and always diversify your efforts. So use multiple job searching sites, be connecting with your career development coordinator at Huron on a regular basis to engage in job searching, and find those unique ways, like on social media, to be engaging with employers. And so all of this culminates in a lot of different services and opportunities that are very unique to Huron. And so at Huron, we have an exclusive job board that is only viewable and accessible by our students, on which we post exclusive paid internship opportunities for our students. And when I refer to exclusive internships, these are opportunities where employers are only recruiting from Huron. They're not looking at other post-secondary institutions, but simply our students. We also have opportunities that are posted widely for all post-secondary students as well. We will complete individualized networking plans with you. So I've given you a snapshot and a kind of behind the scenes look today about how we do that with our students. But we'll also do the same with job searching. We'll put together a career plan with you so that you know what your next steps are, among other things. And then you'll also have access to our alumni and industry partners for informational interviews, formal mentorship opportunities, internship opportunities, and more. And then, of course, the Scotiabank Career Accelerator program is really a way for our students at Huron to stand out in today's workforce. So this program brings together fundamental career planning exercises, experiences to engage with, and really robust professional development opportunities that are brought to Huron by industry experts, alumni, and consultants in the community to really allow you as a prospective and hopefully future Huron student to stand out in today's job market. And so again, that's a very quick overview of some of the opportunities that we offer at Huron. But I'm going to turn it over to some of our students at Huron who have joined us on the call today to share about their experience engaging in internship opportunities and how they've engaged with our team at Huron. So I'm pleased to introduce you to Joe Kenneth, Sanchez, Shaw, and Alexis Magdar. So Joe, if you'd like to unmute yourself and share a little bit about your experiences.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Megan. It's good to see you all. And I think this was, again, one of the opportunities, as Megan has mentioned, where it was exclusively for Huron students. So I'm Joe, and I'm in my fourth year, majoring in governance, leadership, and ethics. And I had my summer internship with Purpose Advisor Solutions, which is a fintech company based in Toronto. So for those of you who are not aware of what the fintech space looks like, it really is about businesses using technology to enhance or automate financial services and processes. So that's essentially the fintech space. So what we did at Purpose, what I did at Purpose was, our Purpose as a company, they provided a platform as well as tools for financial advisors to manage their clients' funds. And so it was a startup. It was, well, now it's operating as a company. When I interned with them, they were not operating, and so it was in August, around 2020 August, yeah. And so the one of my job entailed testing different account types and teamed up with other employees to aid with the client onboarding process. And I think one of the highlights of the internship was the structure of the company. So being a startup, most of our team meetings involved senior executives, like the CEO, who was Jeff Gans, and the COO, who was Gary. And I think something worth pointing out is the COO, that is Gary. We used to have a chat. We used to have chats about soccer almost every team meeting. So that was something that kind of gives you an idea of what the culture of the company was. And I'm assuming that's the case to this day. But yes, it all started through a call I had received from Megan Blight, who is the VP of University Growth. And she had enlightened me about the opportunity and encouraged me to take it. And Dave Nugent, one of the Huron alumni, had reached out hoping to add Huron students to the PES team, which is the Purpose Advisor Solutions team. And prior to my interview, the career development team had invested their time into making sure that my resume was good enough to be considered for the job. So upon receiving an invitation for interview, they had also conducted a mock interview to make sure I was as prepared as I can be for the actual interview. So that was my experience, and I'm really grateful to the career development team for helping me navigate through the process and getting the job.
Hi everyone, I'm Sanchi and I'm doing an honors specialization in economics going into my third year. So I worked as a social finance analyst for Verge Capital, which is a part of Pillar Nonprofit. It is a social finance institution. So in case you guys are not aware, social finance institutions basically tend to remove barriers that basic bank financing would have. So we were able to provide loans and to social organizations or like to organizations who had business on their mind as well as contributing to the community. So we were able to provide low interest and low collateral loans to them. I personally have been very interested in the field, so this opportunity was just amazing for me to actually seal my trust that this is the sector that I want to work in. I found this job opportunity on the Huron exclusive board, as Megan mentioned, and I was able to apply and I scored an interview with them. My resume and cover letter were again facilitated by the Career Development Center, where we had our back and forth. We decided what should go on my resume, how it should look like, as well as for long-term planning. If I'm able to, create cover letters and resumes for other jobs and, change my cover letters according to different job opportunities that I encounter. So I guess that is a very important thing to mention here, that they don't prepare you just for one internship or a one interview, but for future interviews and internships as well. So as I got my call for interview, I was really excited and super nervous. And that's when I had my mock interview with the Career Development Center, where we discussed what potential questions could be, also how to, best answer questions, how to best present yourself. Because I truly believe that all of us have the skills that is necessary to land jobs. It's just how we present ourselves to do it. And the Career Development Center just provides that perfect bridge for us. So I was able to score that internship, summer internship. It was one of my first internships, and I was really excited. The job mostly entailed for me to work on investor reports, so research our clients, and create reports and infographics for our senior team, as well as work on their social media pages, which I handled. That's, I think, a very big aspect of learning as well, that Huron offers internships that are quality and that you get to learn a lot at. So this was not just a very low level job. I was working with a senior team. I was working with the marketing team. I was talking to clients, and I have built some amazing connections. I'm still in touch with my manager and the marketing team at Pillar, and I am so excited to be able to, have an opportunity to work with them next summer, hopefully, fingers crossed. So yeah, thank you so much.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Alexis, and I'm in my third year studying a major in governance, leadership, and ethics and a minor in political science. And last year, I participated in Huron's first ever RBC Innovation Bootcamp. And this bootcamp is a hackathon case-style competition, and my group was tasked with creating low-cost marketing communication strategies for a registered charity in London called Growing Chefs. And during the boot camp, I made prototype marketing materials. And when we pitched our final ideas and assets, we ended up actually placing first and winning the boot camp, which was super exciting. However, I knew my connection with the organization Growing Chefs wasn't done at the boot camp. And when we learned about Growing Chefs and their mission to gain a sustainable food education for children and to teach them to build healthy relationships with food and the world around them, it was something that spoke to me and my passions. And I knew I wanted to get involved more. So at the boot camp, I met Jen and Andrew, who are two of the executive administrators at the organization, who are representing Growing Chefs. And I emailed them, letting them know that I was really passionate about the organization. And I'd asked if they had hired interns in the past. And they said that they hadn't, but they were eager for the possibility and they were open to exploring it. And a few weeks later, they actually created a partnership with Huron to offer an exclusive internship for one student. I was very excited to apply. And with the help of Huron's career development team, they reviewed my application, helped me create a really strong resume and cover letter. And then they also hosted a mock interview with me when I was offered that opportunity so that I could be best prepared for the internship interview. And these tools really did make me feel more confident. And I was lucky enough to become hired as their marketing communications intern for the summer. And in this role, I did a combination of marketing and graphic design, donor stewardship, strategic planning, and public relations. And I actually learned a lot. And I was given complete autonomy to do things like run their social media, create their annual report, and run their volunteer communications and programs. I would say my biggest accomplishment of the summer was I was actually given the opportunity to write an article for the Today's Parent magazine. And I was able to write it with complete autonomy and actually became published for the first time, which was really exciting. And then at the end of the summer, I was offered to stay on during the school year. So I'm still working there and focusing more on asset creation and strategic planning. But this opportunity was a tremendous learning experience for my professional development, building my networking skills, and it's really bringing me closer to my future goals. And I'm really grateful for the help of the career development team in making this opportunity possible for me and helping me along the way if I ever needed advice or support. So yeah, thank you all. I hope to see you guys in the fall, and I will pass it back to Megan.
Wonderful. Well, thank you to all of our student speakers, Joe, Sanchi, and Alexis, for sharing about your experience. In the chat, I've just popped in a link to the career development website, as well as my personal email. I'll also put it up on the screen there. If you have any questions, please do feel free to reach out. I'm more than happy to connect on an individual basis, but hope that we've really illustrated today the personalized approach that we'll take to supporting you as you come to Huron in finding paid internship opportunities, volunteer, professional development experiences that will really help you stand out in today's job markets. All of our internships are paid, but really are tailored to what you are hoping to achieve. So thank you so much for your time today. I'll encourage you all to attend our next session, which is why study the social sciences. So if you'd like to head back to the main room and join that session, our recruitment team, some professors and current students would be happy to receive you there. So thank you so much for your time. Please feel free to reach out if you have any follow-up questions.